You got me tripping. Ever since I saw you, I went slipping. Didn't even know you. Couldn't even breathe without you. It's how I'm feeling. All I ever wanted, you. I'm digging. It's how you got me started. Couldn't even be without you. I wanna be by your side. That's what I'm trying to say. You got me breathless, got me breathless. When you do all the things you do to me, you got me reckless, got me reckless. When you say all the things you say to me, I know nothing. Ever since I wanted you, I went dripping. Never even wanted to. Couldn't even breathe without you. I ain't chilling. My head is spinning round. I went slipping. Never even wanted you. Now I can't be without you. I wanna be by your side. That's what I'm trying to say. You got me breathless, got me breathless. When you do all the things you do to me, you got me reckless, got me reckless. When you say all the things you say to me. You got me breathless, got me breathless. When you do all the things you do to me, you got me reckless, got me reckless. When you say all the things you say to me, you got me tripping. Ever since I saw you, I went slipping. Didn't even know you. Couldn't even breathe without you. Love you now. Love you now. Love you Love you now. I know how to love you. I know how to love you now. I know how to love you. Love you Love you I know how to love you.
Take a breath, take a breath. Please be seated.
How to love you now.
Okay. Good evening and welcome. I'm Tim Redmond, and Kate's uncle and godfather. Kate and David are delighted to have each of you here tonight to witness the beginning of their lives together. Thank you for being here today. When I woke up on Monday morning, I clicked on the television, and on the news they said that Friday afternoon would be an October gem. And I'm thrilled that they delivered such a magnificent day. It's beautiful to see all these faces. We also want to, thank you. We also want to turn our thoughts to those who could not be here with us tonight, to know that they're in our hearts and that we're thinking of you, and we know that they have Kate and David in their hearts as well. To begin this evening, I'd like to ask Diana to come up, David's sister, to do a reading for us.
We said we'd walk together, come what may. Then come the twilight, should we lose our way. If as we're walking, a hand should slip free, I'll wait for you. Should I fall behind, wait for me. We swore we'd travel, darling, side by side. We'd help each other stay in stride. But each lover's steps fall so differently, but I'll wait for you. And if I fall behind, wait for me. Now everyone dreams of love lasting and true. Oh, but you know what this world can do. So let's make our steps clear that the other may see. And I'll wait for you. And if I fall behind, wait for me. Now there's a beautiful river in the valley ahead, and there beneath the oak, soon we should be wed. Should we lose each other in the shadow of the evening trees, I'll wait for you. Should I fall behind, wait for me. Darling, I'll wait for you. If I fall behind, wait for me.
Thank you, Diana. Okay. Having Kate and David ask me to officiate at this wedding was one of the greatest honors of my life. And I've never done anything like this before. So I looked to a couple of friends who have done this before to ask them for their opinion. And I talked to a couple of friends to say, what should I do for readings? What should I use? What would be great? So a couple of people said to me, Shakespeare, you have to do Shakespeare Sonnet 116. If you're like me, that meant absolutely nothing, right? Maybe I didn't study that one in high school. I must have missed that day. But I went back and I tried to read it. And again, if you're like me, if you read it, it made little sense. I have to say, I'm not a Shakespeare scholar. So I read it a couple of times and I started to get some of it. And then I stumbled on a website called No Fear Shakespeare. And on No Fear Shakespeare, they give you modern language translations of the poems in modern language. And when I read it, I was stunned because it matches exactly with the relationship that I see of David and Kate. So I'm going to read it to you and see if you agree with me. So it's Sonnet 116. I hope I may never acknowledge any reason why minds that truly love each other shouldn't be joined together. Love isn't really love if it changes when it sees the beloved change, or if it disappears when the beloved leaves. Oh no. Love is a constant and unchanging light that shines on storms without being shaken. It is the star that guides every wandering boat. And like a star, its value is beyond measure, though its height can be measured. Love is not under time's power, though time has the power to destroy rosy lips and cheeks. Love does not alter with the passage of brief hours and weeks, but lasts until doomsday. If I am wrong about this, and can be proven wrong, I never wrote, and no man ever loved. Oops. Looks, yeah, exactly. The wind was not part of my plan. Okay. When David and I met, to talk about their impending engagement. Yes, he had to come and talk to several of us before he popped the question, so to speak. The poor guy had quite a road in front of him. We met, and I don't know if you remember, but I told you I was very confident in your relationship. And I was confident because they had already experienced tremendous growth together. They had been together for a number of years at that point, and had experienced great growth and change, and had made the decision to stay together. Through their college years, to graduation, their moves to Hoboken, the start of their careers, they learned to thrive side by side. During the early days of the pandemic, most of you know that they gave up their apartment and went on the road on a great adventure. And every time I talked to them, like many of you did, you probably saw the pictures, and they looked wonderful, and it looked like they were having a great time. But what I focused on was, even when things were challenging, they were laughing together. They were laughing with each other at the challenges that they faced, and they made it work, and that's what gives me great hope for their future. Okay. If they could survive in a camper for 5 months with a dog, I think they're going to make it. The author George Bernard Shaw said that life is not about finding yourself, but about creating yourself. Together they have, and they will continue to build a beautiful life together. And it makes me very proud to see. Now, are you ready for some vows?
Sure.
David first. You'll repeat after me.
Sounds good.
Okay. I, David,
I, David,
take you, Kate,
take you, Kate,
as my wife,
as my wife,
to be no other than yourself,
to be no other than yourself,
loving what I know of you,
loving what I know of you,
trusting what I do not yet know,
trusting what I do not yet know.
Okay. I will respect your integrity
I will respect your integrity
and have faith in your abiding love for me.
and have faith in your abiding love for me
Through all our years
through all our years
and all that life may bring us.
and all that life will bring us.
I, Kate. I, Kate.
I, Kate,
Take you, David,
take you, David,
as my husband,
as my husband,
to be no other than yourself,
to be no other than yourself,
loving what I know of you,
loving what I know of you,
trusting what I do not yet know.
trusting what I do not yet know.
I will respect your integrity
I will respect your integrity
and have faith in your abiding love for me
and have faith in your abiding love for me
through all our years
through all our years
and in all that life may bring
and
us.
in all that life may bring us.
Rings? You have the rings? Okay. David first, you ready? I, David,
I, David,
give you, Kate,
give you, Kate,
this ring,
this ring,
as I give to you all that I am,
as I give to you all that I am,
and accept from you all that you are.
and accept from you all that you are.
I, Kate,
I, Kate,
give you, David, this ring,
give you, David, this ring,
as I give you all that I am,
as I give you all that I am,
and accept from you all that you are.
and accept from you all that you are.
Well done. Okay. So, since Kate and David were legally married on October 24th, 2020, it is now time to kiss your spouse.
I know I love you. light. You are the moon, my comfort at night. You are the water that keeps me alive. You are the ground on which I stand. Yes, you are. Wherever you go, I follow you there. Whatever you do, I'll be there for you. And I will be forever true, true to you. And I give it all. I give you my life. I give you my soul. And I know that you keep it safe. And forever, for all future days. Wherever you go, I follow you there. Whatever you do, I'll be there for you. And I will be forever true, true to you.
I had to write this down because I knew I'd never remember it, and I'll keep it short and sweet, I promise. But first of all, I want to welcome you all on behalf of myself, my wife Michelle, David's parents, Jane and Michael, and Katie's mom Karen, and Pat. We really all appreciate you coming. As you know, due to the strength of their love, they really couldn't wait to get married, and it's already been mentioned, they were married previously. And they had a beautiful wedding ceremony out in Carmel, California. For them and for the few of us that were there, it was one of the most special days of our lives. It was really, really an amazing occasion. And that said, there was a major thing missing, and that was you, the most important people in their lives. And that's why we're really here today, right? To celebrate this together with everybody who loves them and they love all of you. So we're going to continue to celebrate a very, very special couple that's already a couple, which I'm happy to say. So I would also like to add something that I mean from the bottom of my heart to Mike and to Jane, that I'm thrilled that Katie found David. As you know, I kissed you 3 times tonight. Okay, so, but you know, as Jane has explained to me many times, David is a special guy. So, but it's also a special family, as I've come to know and come to get to be friends and part of the family, I hope, as well. And seeing Kate and David settle into Lake Mohawk and the love and support that Kate gets from the Germano family makes this even a more special day for me and a more special union, frankly. It's really something. You know, that said, if you ever decide to relocate, there's a really nice bungalow in Huntington Bay down the road. Yeah. We could work something out. I'm sure Pat and Karen should find a place in Jupiter as well. So just keep that in the back of your minds, all right, guys? All right? All right, so. But finally, and Tim already mentioned this before, but there are a lot of people, past and present, that could not be here today, and especially my dad, George, who is with me right now. But they are all here with you. They're filling their hearts to yours with love and happiness, I'm sure of it. So, as I said, I was going to keep it short. I am. Let's raise a glass to the couple, please, and join me in wishing you nothing but love and happiness and all the best things that life can deliver. So, love you both.
All right, the best man. I found out that I was speaking before Mike, and I knew I wasn't going to be the funniest person in the room, so prepare to cry. In all seriousness, thank you all so much for being here. I'm so happy we're finally here together celebrating Katie and David and the way they deserve and starting this next chapter of their lives. And I'm so honored to be standing here as Katie's best man and younger brother. I was shocked when she first asked me to be her best man, or person of honor. My first question was, do I have to wear a dress? Don't worry, we came to a compromise. I'll be wearing that at the after party, so hope to see you there. But many of you may or may not have a full view of what happened to Katie and David this past year. You heard a little bit about it tonight, but I want to paint a picture for you. So, they were living in Jersey City in a beautiful apartment. They were planning a beautiful wedding at the Roundhouse in Beacon, New York. It's a beautiful place. And suddenly, this thing called COVID happened. The world shut down. Their wedding date in October came and went. And we were all left waiting for the world to return to normal. But instead of waiting around, Katie and David decided to pursue their dream of traveling around the country. So they sold what they could, put the rest in storage, bought a pickup truck, a camper, and hit the road with Lucy, traveling all around the country, embracing the nomadic lifestyle of living city to city, town to town, campsite to campsite. And on the back leg of that trip, my girlfriend and I were lucky enough to spend some really quality time with them in Lake Tahoe, California. Originally, I got a call from Katie saying there were some forest fires, they needed a place to stay, could I park my 30-foot camper in your driveway for a few days? I said, of course. A few days turned into a few weeks, and we made some memories that we'll never forget with people that are in this room tonight, and it was amazing. Like when Katie became friends with a black bear on her 30th birthday, face to face, but we'll save that story for later. But during this trip was when Katie and David started solidifying their idea and plan to elope and tie the knot. And they said it would be just the two of them and Lucy, an officiant they found online, and overlooking a beautiful cliff, overlooking the ocean in Carmel, California. Well, you probably know how that turned out. 7 of us crashed that, the best man and I being 2 of them. And it was a beautiful and unforgettable weekend and that we spent celebrating with Katie and David. And I'm so grateful that I was there, but we all felt that, it would mean so much to have everyone else with us. And so, fast forward to now, I know it means the world to these 2 and to all of us that we're all celebrating this in the way that you deserve. So I want to share a little bit about my relationship with Katie and how she's been looking after me since the day we met. No, seriously. So when I was a newborn baby in the hospital, she turns to my older brother and says, she's holding me, she turns to my older brother and says, "Here, Kevin, you can pet him now." New pet golden retriever. I don't know, something like that. So it's a true story. Katie was my best friend, a second mother, someone I could turn to no matter what. I always knew you would know the right thing to do. Even if it didn't feel like it, you were setting an example for me to admire, emulate, and follow. From driving me to school every day at 5:30 in the morning, to taking me to concerts, giving me my first beer, even letting me move in with you in Hoboken for 2 months after college, you were everything I could ask for in an older sister. If you see David's smile right now, I don't know how excited he was about having his girlfriend's younger brother move in together after they moved in like 2 weeks earlier. But he put on a brave face and just accepted it, because that's just one small example of the type of people you both are. You're caring, you're optimistic, and you've got a lot of love to give. And of all the experiences we've shared together, being your roommate was one of my favorite and that I cherish the most, because I got to see how great you were together and knew that I had nothing to worry about. Katie, once again, had made the right call, as she always does. And David added so much humor and lightheartedness to our family immediately from the day he stepped into it. Everyone knows that David's often the funniest person in the room, probably the loudest. But everyone also knows how much love you have to give and how big your heart is. And you seamlessly became a true part of our family, and I think we can all agree on that. And I couldn't imagine our family without you in it. All right, back to Katie. All right. As many of you know, she stays very calm under pressure. Like when your house floods and permanently damages all your belongings a few weeks before your wedding, for instance, keeps a straight face. So, well, growing up, our mother gave us a prayer to read at different times in our lives that helped us get through the challenging times we all face. We're not the most religious bunch, although Katie did go through a phase in high school. The message holds true no matter your beliefs. And it's something I think we've both carried with us, especially the last line, and I'd like to share it with you all today. It's called patient trust. Above all, trust in the slow work of God. We are quite naturally impatient in everything to reach the end without delay. We should like to skip the intermediate stages. We are impatient of being on the way to something unknown and something new. And yet it is the law of all progress that it is made by passing through some stages of instability, and that it may take a very long time. And so I think it is with you. Your ideas mature gradually. Let them grow. Let them shape themselves without undue haste. Don't try to force them on as though you could be today what time will make of you tomorrow. Only God can say what this new spirit gradually forming within you will be. So give our Lord the benefit of believing that his hand is leading you, and accept the anxiety of feeling yourself in suspense and incomplete. So from this day forward, when the world feels like it's upside down, know that you are complete with the love that you and David share together. So a toast to Katie and David, and a lifetime of complete love and friendship. Cheers. Love you guys.
Thank you. I'm so sorry, everyone. Everyone's talking. I know you want to eat and you want to dance, and we're going to get ready for that soon, but I've been waiting for this my entire life.
Oh, I don't know.
It is so good to see everybody here. Half of you I know. You're my family. You're the people I love the most. The other half, I've never met you, and I have no idea who you are. But I'm Mike Germano. That's David Germano. Just so you know, a lot of you have hugged me, said, David, congratulations. David's the one with the glasses, the Clark Kent one. I'm the fat Superman one, okay? That's how you tell us apart. But what I would like to say is to see all of you sitting here, I look out and I see all these tables. I see the Hitachi table, the people that my dad worked with who, thank you very much for helping him make money all those years and sending us to all those schools. This is the last wedding you'll probably be invited to, so that's exciting, last one. The next time we'll see each other will be at my dad's retirement dinner. But in order for my dad to retire, one of you needs to outsell him. So if you could please just work a little harder, because we really, Dad, want you to be with the kids. But that was a joke, obviously, that hit that table too hard. But, you know, I also see, to take a look at, my in-laws are here, all of them. Thank you. On Diana's side, the Rhine crowds, the Acabazos. This wedding's a lot less stressful than the ones we had, which is really nice. I see all my mom's friends. Thank you for having to deal with my mom for so many years about this exact moment. To my mom's friends, husbands, also known as my dad's friends, I'm really happy you're here too. So, you know, it's great. You've made the cut. This is the third wedding. You either are good at dancing or good at writing checks. We're so happy you're here. So thank you so much. To the Redmond family, oh yes, oh my, it's so good to see you. Mamu and Papa and all the names that I didn't understand were real, but your grandparents, it's so good to see you. We're so happy you're here. This has been great. Thank you for obviously being such a wonderful part of all this. I know that you're trying to convince everybody to move to wherever you said is Long Island, but this is Sparta, all right? So like we are here, and I just want to let you know that. And we also do have, I believe we have Dawn Corbo here, who is the 19-time best real estate agent here in Sparta. So for those of you who don't live here, please talk to her. She'll find you a house. Dawn Corbo, she knows where you live. So I want to say to all the Germanos out there, I love you. We are strong. This is wonderful. I'm the best man, so I'm the best Germano. That is why I'm here. You know, they had Greg come up, Diana, you could have been here, but I'm up here. So this is not that this is a competition, which is what our whole life has been, but it is a competition. And that leads me to the whole point, which is this has been a competition. You and I have, since we were kids, competed over the love of you. And we did it in the most ridiculous ways. in big, crazy, silly, stupid things. And it has been such an adventure because before you, David, Diane and I were good. We were good. 1988, Nintendo just came out. Diane and I were just chilling. I'd make her laugh all the time. Life was good. And then you came along, Mom, and you screwed up the entire dynamics because then we wanted your attention. We wanted to do everything to get your attention. And that was our whole life. And we'd always try to make each other laugh. And I'm really happy that when you looked at our lives, everyone's like, oh, you didn't follow me. I was a Tasmanian devil tearing through things. I was lucky that you were on these paths and got to do these things. And one of the things you did that Diana did well was you made great friends. Diana always had great friends, and you made great friends. And for those of you who are here, it's really great to have met and known you. I knew Matt. Where's Matt? Matt's really David's best friend. And you know what? It's always good for an older brother to see you have a best friend. And even though really, because when I went away to college, Matt would then have to fill in my roles at our house and do all the landscaping and everything else, and my mom would have to feed him, and that's one of the reasons why Matt's so large. Matt also is a big lacrosse player, which was good because David had the tendency of me of running his mouth, so luckily Matt would go there, and Matt would use fist on head to stop people from hurting David if David said dumb things. So Matt, thank you for keeping David alive and almost killing him all those times on your dirt bikes. We've spent, David ended up going to Quinnipiac, which is a school that I went to, and to tell you a quick silly story, it would have been easier, David and I are 7 years apart, it would have been easier to probably call you a couple times and tell you I love you and email you, and I didn't do that. Instead what I did was I created a fake weekend called Siblings Weekend. I wrote a fake email that I drafted and forwarded to my parents, had someone else write it, and it said, Siblings Weekend is when someone's sibling can come up and they have to be 13 or older. David happened to be 13. How funny is that? For a wonderful weekend of activities, and enclosed, please bring $250 of cash, and here's when to bring it up and drop them off. And my parents fell for this. So at 13 years old, my brother spent a weekend every year for 3 years up at our school. I got $250 in cash, and I literally had this kid drinking and partying and playing beer pong. It was terrific. We treated him like an Alabama running back prospect. I mean, everybody was cheering. They thought it was the coolest thing. David had no idea that no other sibling went to Siblings Weekend. Never got that. In fact, David had no idea because when David went to Quinnipiac, he asked, when's Siblings Weekend? And everyone goes, what the fuck are you talking about? So, once again, that was a weird way to show you that I wanted you to see something in my life that was important to me. And it might have been a weird way to do it, and I did scam my parents at $250 every time, but it was worth it. But I wanted you to experience things I experienced in life. I got to experience, I have an unbelievable wife, and I have an unbelievable family, and that is something I experienced, and I've been watching you build that. Now, the person that you picked to do that with, well, this is the person that my kids have always called an aunt. So I don't care about all this Carmel wedding stuff. They've looked at you as an aunt their whole life. When my wife and I got engaged, stop crying, Victoria. When we called up David, you were the one screaming in the background. David wasn't really that excited about it. And so you have been a keystone to our life. And as we did big, bold things to show David that we love him, and Diana and I and our whole family competed for it, you just secretly provided him with like very mature, natural, smart love and a very stable relationship, which was probably reassuring for David. We never understood why David wouldn't keep going to our house for Christmas, because we're like, David, we're going to have a crazy time, and we're going to force you to build everyone else's toys, and we're going to make you sleep on a cot, and we're going to yell at you, and it's going to be 30 degrees. Why don't you want to come to our Christmas? And you're like, I'll go down to Florida, where they laugh at my jokes, and they're nice to me. And by the way, all his jokes are my jokes. He keeps stealing my jokes. But the key here is I've spent my whole life trying to make these gestures tell you I love you. And we thought, who could be good enough for our brother? And it's someone who has always made beautiful gestures to our family, who's always made beautiful gestures to you, who makes you laugh, and even though your laugh sounds so annoying, I still get such joy when she does that. I think that I know that I've experienced a lot of life, and you've kind of 7 years experienced the same thing. This marriage is one of them. The next 10 years are going to be so great. I got married 10 years ago today, and I think about what you guys are going to have. It's going to be the best. You are both going to be unbelievable parents, and I want you to continue to do crazy, loving things for each other. And right when I thought we were a crazy family, you guys do the craziest thing of all, which is say, oh, after touring the entire US, we're going to move right back here to Sparta. And all of us were like, well, how the hell did this happen? Right? And it turns out you're the craziest of all of us. Why would you come here? I don't understand. But for that, I just want to say thank you. We look forward to building a great life for you here. For everyone else in the family, we want to welcome you to not only this town, to our family, but I look forward to all the silly baby showers and every million event that we could possibly have and seeing each other, because we're going to spend the rest of our lives watching these people build something beautiful. And it's been an honor to be your brother, and I love you. And thank you, bye.
I'll be quick. Hello, you can hear me. All right. The mother-son dance is one of the highlights of any wedding. And this one tonight is very special for my wife, as this is the culmination of our dance with our youngest child. Her finale, her last dance. Her last dance from the child that we held a lot tighter than all the rest of them. The one that kind of squared our shoulders, made us walk a little faster, kept us young, and gave me gray hair at the same time. David was an amazing kid to have growing up, and I loved every minute of it. But you know what? Time goes by really quick. And all of a sudden, we have to let him go. If I knew back then, Katie, that sending David to Quinnipiac would have gotten him you, I would have paid double for that education. Well, maybe not double, no. But all kidding aside, you were worth it. The fact is that you are an amazing, amazing woman, and we are so blessed to have you as part of this family. You complete the Germano puzzle. You're that last piece, and you fit it perfectly. And I love you. When David was a child, he always used to say one thing to me, which was very strange. I don't know how strange it was. He would always come up to me, and he would look at me, and he would say, what does it feel like to be a dad? Kind of an interesting question from a kid. He must have asked me that a dozen different times at all different events that we went to, wherever it might be. What does it feel like to be a dad? And I guess I never really answered it well, but I can answer it here tonight. David, being a dad, well, being your dad, has been the most amazing, fantastic, loving, adventurous fatherhood that any father could ever ask for. And I am so proud of the person you've become. It's really been amazing. The fact that you both decided to move to Sparta, you've heard it a few times already. For those that aren't from here, thank you. You've made our life so amazing that you're here. We talk about it and thank every day that you're here with us. It's been terrific. One thing I did forget to say, I said that David used to ask me what is it like to be a dad. I hope someday in the not too distant future I get to ask you that same question. They're now both in Sparta. It's a wonderful time, and all I can say is I can't wait for you to be here and our family to grow and more people here, and I hope there'll be a lot more days like this.